The atrocities committed in Japanese prisoner of war (POW) camps during World War II are some of the most harrowing tales of human suffering. Yet, amid the extreme brutality, there emerged untold stories of resistance that defied the unimaginable. These men, captured and tortured, fought not only to survive but to retain their dignity. Imagine waking up at dawn every day, exhausted, starving, and facing cruel guards who treated you like dirt. This was the reality for more than 300 Allied soldiers held by Japanese forces. The conditions were horrific: malnutrition, forced labor, physical abuse, and psychological torment. Yet despite the constant threat of death, many found ways to fight back. One of the most staggering truths: the Japanese refused to follow the Geneva Convention, providing prisoners with just 1,000 to 1,500 calories a day, less than half what they needed to survive. They worked long hours in extreme conditions, with food that was sometimes so contaminated it was unfit for even animals. Prisoners were forced to work in jungles, shipyards, and mines, and yet death rates soared. Some camps saw mortality rates as high as 50%, but amid this suffering, there was resistance. One of the most powerful acts of defiance was the refusal to bow to their captors. Prisoners would often maintain their military hierarchy, risking their lives to show they would not give up their honor. Major James P. Divero, held at the Wusong prison camp in Shanghai, famously instructed his officers not to salute their Japanese captors. Against all odds, they didn't. They knew it was a small yet powerful victory against an enemy bent on breaking their spirit. In other camps, prisoners fought back in equally cunning ways. They stole food and medical supplies from the Japanese, distributing it equally among their fellow captives. This act of resistance ensured that more men survived, despite the constant threat of being punished or killed for it. Even sabotage became a tactic, with prisoners secretly sabotaging Japanese military trains or burying obstacles on roads used to transport supplies. But the most unexpected weapon they wielded? Humor. The Americans, held in one of the most infamous camps, would often give their Japanese guards derisive nicknames, Donald Duck being one of their favorites, mocking the very men who controlled their lives. Despite the indescribable cruelty, these prisoners fought to preserve what mattered most: their humanity. They resisted not only with violence but with solidarity, resilience, and an indomitable spirit. Their courage was a light in the darkest of times, showing the world that, even in the worst conditions imaginable, the will to resist cannot be broken. This is the untold story of human strength, ingenuity, and the will to survive, a story that should never be forgotten.